Nudity, naturism and nakedness. Now that I've got your attention, welcome guys to What Inspired Spiritual Naturism Gratitude Awakening Part 2. We're going to talk about naturism and eventually how it led into spiritual naturism, part of my path. This is just a small part of the journey. Thank you everyone for watching. So before we get too involved, I'd just like to explain to everyone that in my world, in my mind, and the people I associate with, naturism means a non-sexualized naked lifestyle. There's many different meanings around the world, but I'd just like you to know that that's what I'm about. So how did I get into naturism? I'm pretty sure I was born naked. I'll check with my mum and I'll get back to you on that. But look, we're all born naked. It's a crazy world we grow up in. Things get changed for many different reasons, which I'm not going to get into. Look, I understand there are a lot of safety reasons, and there are a lot of reasons when there are times that we really need to wear clothes, especially at work. If you're welding, if you're working in freezing conditions, or you're in freezing conditions, things to do with the weather, health, yes, we have to wear clothes. But my point is, in an area that you don't have to, or in an environment that you don't have to, where you're completely safe, and you may be surrounded by completely trustworthy people, so what's the big deal? I've never really understood bathing suits for swimming and sunbaking. To me, it's just never really made a lot of sense. I'm not sure about what you guys think about that sort of thing. So from when I was a kid, like basically any time I was at home by myself, that was me, happy as a lark, being butt naked. The other things that I found really confusing growing up as a kid were things like, when we went to school, we went to a religious school, and after sport, after swimming, football training, football matches, you'd all go into this massive shower, and basically there were no walls, there were no screens, there were no doors. You just all strip off and had showers. There was about 30 shower heads lined up. I never gave it a second thought. It never really bothered me. To me, it just seemed natural. The funny thing was, you'd go back into the classroom and learn about, with religious instruction, all that sort of jazz about that the body needed to be covered up. It just didn't make sense. The other thing that I found really confusing with the church or religious things is they say that we are made in the image of God, and that God is beautiful. So if God is beautiful, why are we covering ourselves up? Because we should all be beautiful if we're made in the image of God. Am I correct? I think I am. I found it really crazy. Look, at the age of 16, and I mean, a lot of people wake up a lot earlier, but at the age of 16, I just went, this is insane. I'm not having any part of this anymore. And hey, I'm a proud non-conformist. In 1986, 87, I had a wonderful opportunity, and I met some other people who sort of thought pretty much the same. I'm not saying that they were people who were fully openly, they weren't walking around butt naked all the time, but there was no big deal about if they were. Nothing was said, so it was nice to meet and even be involved with people like that without anything being an issue. It made me feel not so alone, and it even gave me a tinge of empowerment, which I really enjoyed. Just sort of basically continuing that sort of lifestyle. In 1992, things really started to ramp up for me as far as the fact that I wondered, what is all this fuss about? In 1992, there was a huge media explosion, especially from, I think, the English press, about Princess Fergie being topless on the beach. I just could not understand it. In Australia here, every second woman or girl on the beach at the time would be topless, and no one really batted an eyelid, no one cared. Why was Princess Fergie getting all this media attention and all these other women in Australia weren't? It was crazy. That's just the way the world is. Look, that's just a really brief explanation of my life and being involved in naturism. And basically, I just think to myself, it doesn't matter what anyone wears. There shouldn't be a big deal made about it. If you want to, you should be able to wear whatever you want, or wear nothing at all if you want, if you feel so comfortable to do. Just going to cross over a little bit to spirituality here. So we're in around 1991, and I have no idea how I started this or why I started this, but I used to do a little thing which I would now call a ritual. Back then I called it scenarios. I had no idea what on earth I was doing. It was just something that was in my head. And I think I started doing this when I was doing night shift, and I'd come home in the morning, and basically what it involved was visualising and being grateful for things that I had seen and things that I wanted to see. I wanted to see more of the same sort of things, and a lot of these things were, part of this was to do with my work situation, which wasn't fantastic at the time. My transport situation wasn't fantastic at the time, so I sort of put these thoughts out into the universe, and nothing really huge happened, but I just kept focusing on it. The other thing is, and I'm not going to go into any details about this at all, but one particular morning, you get home, obviously, you have a shower, you throw something on, cook brekkie, and I'd go to bed. But this particular morning, for reasons which I'm not going to divulge, I could not get my clothes, so I just did my scenarios or rituals or mantras butt naked. It just felt completely normal to me, completely natural to me, so I continued to do it. The amazing thing was, within a couple of weeks, I started to see drastic changes, should I say, in my work situation and my transport situation, both of which improved incredibly well. And I thought, maybe I'm onto something here. The thing is, to be totally honest, I'm not a magician or anything like that. Obviously, even though my work situation and my transport situation improved, other parts of my life sort of seemed to stay stagnant. The other thing I couldn't work out is why, if I sort of focused, and I thought I was focusing on, keeping things positive and trying to make this happen, and it wouldn't happen. But then with something else, really putting a lot of emphasis into, I really don't want that to happen, and it would happen. And I had no idea why none of this would work. And really I wasn't going to find out the answers till about 2005, 2006. But I continued my practice regardless and developed it, and I've been developing this for 28, 29 years, I suppose now. So I hope you've got something out of this video. I'd really like you to stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. You may also be on Facebook or Instagram, both on there, Spiritual Naturism, Gratitude Awakening. I'd really appreciate follows, likes, and anyone who'd like to subscribe on YouTube. And in the next video, we will talk about basically, how we bring the more positive field, mixing gratitude with spirituality and naturism. I hope you've got something out of this, and I'll talk to you real soon. Thank you very much.